Hey guys, welcome to the Tommy Bryson Show, and today we're going to take a look at a CNBC video on Kevin Paffrath. You guys know who Kevin is. Meet Kevin, living on $6 million a year, and this video was from November, but I missed it, okay? But now I'm here to actually go ahead and review it and see how is it possible for Kevin to survive on $6 million per year in California, Ventura. By the way, Kevin is awesome. Hard worker, one of the best on YouTube, so shout out to Kevin a lot. But let's get started, guys, here. And if you guys are new here, I post videos every single day, so you should also subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified, and on top of that, also destroy the like button. Let's dive right into
it. Was absolutely surreal. I remember that night after the kids going down, you asked me how much that I thought you made everything related to YouTube.
In just May.
By the way, Kevin's studio is awesome, okay? Kevin's studio is awesome. I need some of those soft lights in my studio too here. And so, well, my little corner, it's not really like a studio, but my little corner here. But yeah, Kevin's studio is insane.
Just 1 month. And for him to say that it was crossing 7 figures was just mind blowing. I didn't even know what to think. It was crazy.
1 month? Cross 7 figures? 1 month? $1 million? Whoa. By the way, I like Kevin a lot. You know, he has like his kids, has like his wife, has a job he actually enjoys a ton, works very hard. His wife works very hard. It's a very likable guy, okay? Here's how they spend their money. Millennial money.
All right, ready to rock. Here we go. Recording, and let's get the mic. Test. We'll change it to like 0.5 speed on YouTube.
Yeah.
Wow.
My name is Kevin, I'm 28, and I make just over $5.75 million per year.
$5.6 million per year. It's awesome. That's awesome, Kevin. 28 years old, I'm 24. 4 years from now, let's see where we are. And Danny, by the way, 4 years from now, you'll be there too, brother. Let's see what happens there.
My name is Lauren. I am 30 years old, and I make $250,000 per year.
Together, we make over $6 million per year.
Oh, so his wife makes $200,000 per year, and then he makes like around 5 point something. So together they make a very good decent amount of money. That's awesome.
And we live in Ventura, California.
And welcome to, wait for it, Millennial Money.
I'm a real estate broker and real estate investor, and lately I've started making YouTube videos to teach what I know about investing in real estate and stocks online.
All right, and by the way, you know, Kevin, you know, it's very difficult, right? Because me as an accountant, I could go out there, like get like a 70K job, 75K job, but then I could just use all the information I know, put it on YouTube, make a lot of money also, but also do what I enjoy to do. So Kevin, doing like real estate investing, which is usually what he does, also like a broker. I doubt he does a lot of deals anymore because he's working so hard. And then like the YouTube business is usually where I would say like 80 to 90% of the money is basically coming from.
I'm a full-time mother and also full-time property manager, managing our own properties.
Oh, so I see. So she's a property manager, managing their own properties, and the salary they pay themselves is basically money from Kevin's business, and that way they get the tax stuff. Okay, awesome. By the way, it's still a lot of work to go ahead and do property management.
A typical day for me starts at about 5 a.m. Then I go down to my garage office set where I have a
5 a.m. That is awesome. I can't eat anything in the morning though.
Walking treadmill, and I'll catch up on whatever projects we need to work on for our real estate investments, and I'll plan out the days of videos. After that, by about 2 p.m., I like to go on a run with Lauren.
That is awesome. When does he start making videos? That's awesome.
So I get a little bit of fresh air outside since I'm mostly stuck in the office from 5 to 2 answering text messages or calls or filming videos. After the run, I'll catch up on emails a bit again.
I cannot stand emails. Like if you email me, I check emails maybe like once every 3 months. Like if you email me and I respond, you get very lucky. Instagram, usually the best way to find me. Comments, usually the best way to see me. And like the Patreon, the #1 way to see me. But usually emails, not a great way. I can't stand emails.
Look at properties and projects that are going on, existing renovations. And the goal is to have this dropped dead deadline by 5 p.m. of just hanging out with the kids.
Come here.
That's awesome. So wake up at 5 a.m., 12 hours of work to 5 p.m. And then after that, he's just basically hanging out with the kids. You know, that's very overwhelming. You know, same thing here. You know, I wake up at 4:30, but by 5 p.m. usually I'm off the grid. Like you can't catch me or anything like that, because it's important to give attention to the people you most love and so on. So it's very important. Don't become too overwhelmed when it comes to going too crazy with work, and always make time for exercise. Always.
A typical day for me would be setting my alarm for 8 a.m. but knowing that my children will be waking me up at 6 a.m. So I get up around 6:30 every day.
That's awesome. 6:30, 6 a.m. every day. That's pretty cool. My fiance wakes up at around 6:30 also. I wake up 4:30. She wakes up at 6:30. Yeah.
And then I kind of just hang out with my kids, kind of ease into the day, look at all the assignments and virtual videos that are given to me from my son's teacher at his school. So in addition to that, I also have to...
That is awesome, guys. That is awesome. I like these guys a lot, man. I can't say that enough, you know. By the way, guys, at what age do you think having kids is like pretty solid? Okay, I'm 24 now. What age do you think I should start having kids? Can you imagine like me taking like, oh, some guy said 26 down there, so I'm gonna do that. Just comment for yourself, okay? Like, what age do you want to start having kids? Oh, sorry about that.
Attend to my younger son who is not in school and just handle his needs. I also have a lot of property management stuff that I continually have to deal with, emails, texts, or renovations. So
Yeah, property managers, they work pretty good, right? The idea is that anybody has a problem, you go fix it, you take care of it, and it's pretty awesome, okay? I picture Kevin like having like this big conglomerate business with like all these family homes, and then make it so like Grant Cardone has, and you being able to go ahead and invest with Kevin. I would not be surprised in the future he does that. Would not be surprised.
have to do that as well.
How about when I like text you and I'm like, Lauren, I need an answer right now. And then, right now.
And then I'm in like a distance like learning meeting with the teacher. Shut up.
So when I was 18 months old, I moved from Germany with my family to Florida. And in Florida, my parents knew nothing about American culture, society.
I think I've only been to 3 states in America. New York, Pennsylvania, and that's about it. And New Jersey. I haven't been anywhere else.
How to get ahead. They barely knew how to speak English. And what's crazy about that is I came from this household that ended up divorcing when I was 6 years old, constantly having no money.
By the way, kids with divorced families tend to do very bad in life. It's just like a statistic. And I feel where it's coming from. I also come from like a single family household. My mom didn't have that much money, but my mom did instill in me like saving money. And my dad showed me how to make money, but no one showed me how to invest money and make money multiply. So very relatable here, Kevin.
There's a point when I was 7 years old where I went through the Washington Mutual Bank drive-thru, and my father withdraws with his debit card $20 from the ATM. And I'm, classic 7-year-old, like, oh, Dad, can I have that? And he's like, Kevin, I only have 11 of these left.
Wow, that's insane. For me, it was always like, with my mom, it was always like basically, it was tough, like it was always like once a year I would get like a game, okay? But I always had like all the things I needed, like a good school, like good food and all that stuff. But like things that I wanted and so on, it was never like we had too much. It was just like, okay, we have enough for everything.
This is at the same time as we're like losing our house after the divorce, and things are just a mess. And
by the way, that's why I'm so crazy. I'm so crazy about basically like making sure I have a good foundation. Like I do not want to be that picture at all. Like getting divorced, losing the house, they putting my kids through that stuff. And by the way, sometimes they turn out great, but usually there are not too many Kevins out there, and that's not what I want, even if it could be like a success thing. That's why it's so important to go out there and say, hey, let me get out of debt. Let me invest money. Let me buy a house. Pay it off in full fast. That way I'm done with that. That way, no matter what happens, no matter what storm happens, we're going to be taken care of. Everything's going to be fine. But, hindsight is 20/20. So that's why you got to do things today and not look back so much.
Coming from that to meeting you and both of us basically being at zero.
How old is Kevin there? Like 19, 18 years old?
Having around $6,000, $8,000 each, somewhere around there. And going into becoming real estate agents, being property managers, investing in real estate, using the mentorships that are all around us. And
that's awesome, And by the way, people complain all the time about like, hey, I need a mentor. I need this. I need that. When you don't have access to a mentorship or any mentor out there, the thing is that there are a ton of different mentors out there. For example, I talked to Warren Buffett through all the books he's been participating in, okay? That's my way of talking to Warren Buffett. But I don't have the time to like go and reach out to Warren Buffett. Well, he doesn't have the time to talk to me about that stuff, right? But the answer is go to books, okay? Watch people's videos. Like, books have saved my life, like 100%. No books, no Tommy, for sure, for sure.
Taking that and then just making our own reality happen has been really empowering. And if anything, I can look back and say, wow, it kind of makes me want to share that story and say.
By the way, I love that house. And I love the design. I think his wife had a lot to do with that, because I think she also like helps with the entire like layout of the properties and so on, and like making sure everything's organized. So yeah, nice house.
Anybody can do this if we were able to do it.
The couple owns 22 properties in Southern California. That's Kevin's niche. 20 are rentals, 9 are in renovations. 1 is an escrow.
The way I got started in real estate was actually back when I was a law enforcement explorer and spent 3,000 hours on the road with law enforcement. I heard that an officer was...
He's very proud about that law enforcement thing. He always talks about it a lot. So shout out to Kevin, man. You got to do things you enjoy.
Dealing with, well, law enforcement during the day, but then on the weekends was helping people move into their first homes. This got me really, really excited about, wow, okay, there are tons of career paths.
Some of my earliest memories were going on appointments with my mother, who was a very, very highly successful property manager. And
by the way, you know something, man? Whenever you want to achieve something, whatever it is, it's possible to just do that thing, like have like that day job, and also go ahead at night once you're done, go work on that stuff, okay? It is hard, it is tough, but it pays off in the end, trust me.
Fast forward until I was 18 when I was studying and getting my real estate license. I then chose to follow the career path of my mother and work alongside with her and do professional property management.
Awesome. Kevin and Lauren bought their first home in 2020 for $305,000 and put down 3.5%. You know, they lived in it, so they probably got an FHA loan. That's pretty cool, you know. Do I recommend that? No, you know, not at all. You know, again, there's not too many Kevins out there, and that's why, although like things do work out, like there's not too many people like me that I have so much credit card debt, I flipped that money, I use that money, made more money. No, a lot of people basically usually like do that stuff and then basically just burn themselves completely. You gotta be careful with that stuff. Usually 20% down, a house you can actually afford, try to pay it off, have that foundation. But this way it's kind of like, hey, I get in, I make this rental, I go to the next one, next one, next one, next one. And although it might seem like it works out, when you have so much leverage going on, it can be very dangerous. So you got to know exactly what you're doing. And the thing is that everyone thinks they know what they're doing. So that's the big problem. Everyone thinks they know how to invest into stocks. Everyone thinks they know how to do this. So you got to be honest with yourself and say, hey, am I really doing this correctly? Can I really do that? Be honest with yourself, always.
We ended up finding a trashed fixer-upper. And this place was a foreclosure. We had, you know, barely, what, $8,000 each to our name to fix this place up somehow. And
wow. Usually your first property, you do not want to make it a fixer-upper. But then again, Kevin and also like his wife come from that field of like real estate, right? So they kind of know like, hey, we kind of know what it takes, okay? But usually on average, you don't want to do that because most of the time you might underestimate how much it's going to take to actually fix up the whole thing. And things can go wrong very quickly. Be very careful with that.
There was no kitchen, the bathrooms were gone, the toilets were gone. It was a disaster.
It wasn't just an educational process for these people touring our home, it was an educational process for us in knowing how to work with design and work with staging. And
wow, no bathrooms, no toilets, no kitchen. It's tough work.
Just everything related to the process of...
By the way, why do you do that, okay? If you have a home that's foreclosure, going for 305, but the area is going, for example, for 350 or like 400 or 450, you have a wedge. I took Kevin's course, okay? You have a wedge there. That means once you fix it up, you have all this instant equity now, okay? That's why he does this stuff. I get it. I understand it. But be very careful with this stuff.
Buying and renovating a home. So we got kind of addicted to the idea of just owning homes and renovating them.
And especially in a cost-effective way.
Yeah, Kevin loves like Kevin loves like his old like cabinet stuff where he grabs cabinets and he spray paints them and all that stuff just to save money. it's a lot of respect in that stuff, man. It takes a lot of like knowledge to know like where you can save money and where you can't save money.
About to close on our 20th property in Southern California, which will be a threeplex, 3-unit apartment building that we're turning into a 6-unit apartment building, which Lauren is really excited about managing.
Wow. That should be interesting. I actually saw it's like next to the beach or something like that. It looked actually pretty cool. The real estate business includes buying, flipping, and renting houses. Okay. Kevin doesn't really flip though.
Regarding our
All right, here comes the budget.
finances, I deal with most of the bills. We do keep a
Wow. Housing, $3,712. Kevin and Lauren's estimated monthly spending, $13,691. I bet most of this stuff is basically like on mortgages and so on. Let's see.
spend tracker between us.
Insurance, $2,353. Probably because Kevin needs legal insurance because he's always getting in trouble and stuff like that. He actually gave me advice once, so like, because I had a whole issue and stuff like that. So yeah. $2,100 in food for 4 people. That's an insane amount of money, Kevin.
Yes, so anytime one of us goes to a store,
Kids school, $1,357. Entertainment. Well, this is a lot of money. This is a lot of money. I cannot make an excuse here.
and spends money on something, we just use like
Loan to Kevin's dad, $1,000. Oh, so he lends his dad money. That's one rule I don't break. I don't lend money to family members at all. If I have the money, I'll give it away. But you know, the Bible says the lender is slave to the borrower. No, that's backward. The borrower is slave to the lender. Okay, it changes the relationship dynamic very quickly, very fast, and I just prefer not to do it. So if I have money, I'll give it to you, but I won't lend it to you if like my family. Like business, don't care, whatever. Here's the money. If you don't pay me, I'll take all your stuff. Okay, but this stuff is completely different.
an Apple numbers spreadsheet that links between
Clothes, $400. Subscriptions, $128. Gas, $20. Yeah.
us.
We established
Wait. Mortgage and property taxes and HOA utilities, toys, video games, books, personal budget. What is that down there? This YouTube thing is so annoying, man. Peloton, Netflix, okay. Health for family, kids, dental, life umbrella, grocery deliveries, alcohol. Yes, this is a lot of money, Kevin. I don't know how to break this down in any way, but school supplies, beauty, credit cards, annual fees is all the way at the bottom there, okay? This is way too much money being spent there. Food for like a family like this is probably not that much at all. However, you know, if you are financially free, you do make a lot of money, and if you can't afford it, no problem, okay? No problem. But for me, it just wouldn't. I can't see myself spending that much money, even though I do make a large amount of money also.
something years ago where we mutually thought, okay, what would be a realistic budget for our own personal needs, whether that be
Oh, the business covers Kevin's Tesla payment of one. This is the thing, right? Kevin has a lot of leverage going on, right? Like with the whole okay, I get it. Okay, I have Tesla. It's a business expense. I deducted interest, all the stuff, and taxes, blah blah blah. I get all that stuff, you know. But for me, I keep things simple. But when I buy a car, I pay cash for it. When I buy a house, try to pay it off. You know, just take things step by step. It's a way longer process, trust me. It's not for everyone, but that's just the way I like dealing with things. A lot more simple. So when things do go wrong, eventually, you're still solid and good to go.
clothes or shoes that isn't business related. If I wanted to buy a necklace or a handbag, that would fall into that personal budget. So back then we said $200 per month that we would have that. I think we've upped it $50.
Okay, that's pretty nice. Me and my fiance, we actually have a budget like that too. It's like for $200 for every single month. And the idea is that that's for like dates and like going out and so on. But that's also smart to like have like a little bit of money for buying clothes and things you kind of don't need whatsoever. You just want to spoil yourself on. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Kevin and Lauren became millionaires when they were 23 and 24. Here's the big thing about becoming a millionaire this early. The idea is that, are you actually a millionaire, or it's just based basically on what you actually own? Or is it a millionaire in full equity? You know what I mean? So if you own $1 million worth of stock, you're a millionaire. But if you own, for example, $1 million property, does not mean you're actually a millionaire. It just means you control an asset that's actually $1 million asset. But how much equity you have in it is the real thing. I want to hear more about this though. The couple prefers investments. Yeah, Kevin does not keep any money in cash. I asked him once, like, Kevin, how much money do you have in cash? What cash? What cash? You know, I like having some money in cash, you know, like at least like 200, like $1,000 in cash, because like as I'm doing dollar cost average, so if the market does crash, I can invest a lot of money in it. But that's all just for investing. It'll run out eventually, right? But as far as like cash money, I have like 6 months worth of money like for emergencies, like so like 6K, not like 12K, and that's it. But I understand investing, but you do need some money in cash every now and then. But yeah, everyone's different. They put $14,000 into their in the lump sum at the end of the year. Yeah, I invest around like I think it's $37,000 into my entire retirement account every year. Again, Kevin is all about, man, like the Tesla stuff, you know what I'm saying? But this is awesome. I like this a lot. This is like maybe like their safety net in a way. I'm surprised he's not maxing that out, right? With the simple, he can max it out like all the way. Just max it out all the way out, and just get all those deductions, right? They have about $7.4 million in investment split across 4 brokerage accounts. That is a lot of money. Wow. So yeah, if you have that much money, then you can go ahead and enjoy yourself a lot more, because even then, guys, okay, if you have, for example, $7.4 million, that's that amount. If you just take out, for example, even 2% of that money every single year, that's around $148,000. Divided by 12, that's around $12,000 just in passive income coming in. That's awesome, okay? If you can do that, great.
I think that's a really good strategy for couples though, because it doesn't cause any resentment.
So I decided.
Was he just putting on makeup? That's just to get him put on makeup. It's because all those lights, man. I think it makes you like dull or something. I don't know what's going on with those lights, man. I need some lights here too.
To start a YouTube channel and share all of the experiences I had and mostly all of the things I screwed up on, to try to help people prevent making the same stupid mistakes that I had made.
In 2017, Kevin and Lauren Track expanded into construction. I think this didn't work out for them. By the way, the whole goal is, you gotta share your mistakes because people learn from that. That's the whole thing with my channel too. It's just about sharing value. How did you mess up? How can somebody learn from that? What did you learn from it? What are you gonna do next? What do you think about this? And share your failures. When you fail, it's an opportunity to share it. Don't hide your failures. Always share them. They closed the business within 18 months and lost about $1 million. That is a ton of money. I think it was like Meat Fixed It or something like that. He has contractors. He called Grant Cardone about that. I know like the whole story of this stuff, but yeah, I didn't know he lost that much money though. Yeah, he's at 1 million subscribers now. That's awesome.
The transition of Kevin going from full-time real estate to doing YouTube alongside real estate to then just transitioning to YouTube was actually a very tough time for me and the kids. I just had my second son right when he started making YouTube videos. And
by the way, it's a very, very tricky balance with YouTube, okay? And in the beginning, like I didn't have time for anyone at all. But you have to make that's why I wake up so early, bro. Like, I don't like waking up so early, like at 4:30 a.m. No, you wake up that early because you want to make sure you have time for everything that's important, because YouTube, money, all this stuff is important. But at the end of the day, like family is the most important thing.
Just started getting monetized at that same time. It was definitely an adjustment that we all had to work as a family to try and figure out the balance, because Kevin's nature is very much take on as much as you can possibly take on and work. And other things were suffering.
$150,000 from ad revenue. That is a lot of money, average for the year. That's a lot of money. And on top of that, with those courses he has, man, and like the whole what programs and all that stuff. So, and also maybe like advertisements and referrals. There's a lot of money in YouTube, man. I recommend anybody that wants to do it because they actually like it, you do it. Because it's not YouTube is cool, right? But you still have to make videos every single day, learn something new every single day, and it's still work. That's why you have to enjoy what you do. And you're not guaranteed to make any money either. That's the thing about it.
The most I've ever made in a single month in real estate, that would be real estate commissions and investing in real estate, would be around $150,000 in just 1 month, which
that's awesome.
Is absolutely amazing. But the most I've ever made in a month from YouTube has been $1,070,000. I don't even know how to say that right. Sometimes
that is an insane amount of money. $1,070,000 in 1 day from YouTube. That's insane. That's insane. That's awesome.
As I wake up in the morning and I think, seriously, this is what YouTube sent? It makes me feel like I'm playing with Monopoly money. Over
Kevin and Lauren's pre-tax income.
the last 18 months now,
20 income fluctuates between $200,000 to $1 million per month. That's a big gap there, from $200,000 to $1 million. Yeah, YouTube is insane, man. Look at this. Teachable was $290,000 from courses. That's awesome.
our revenue has gone from just being real estate commissions to, well,
Okay, check this out, guys. Okay, from Teachable, from the courses he makes, he's made $290,000. Okay, that's awesome. From YouTube, $200,000. From affiliates, $160,000. From Lauren's real estate, $20,000. Kevin's real estate salary, commissions, $10,000. But remember this, guys. Okay, this is on a monthly basis. Okay, so yeah, that's an amazing amount of money. That's an amazing amount of money. That's why it's so important to like have a good foundation, because you know how long is this gonna last for? I don't know, but we're here for a good time, not forever though. So enjoy it while it's lasting. You know.
breaking even or losing money on the construction business, to making a little bit of money on YouTube, $100 a day,
Yeah, that's how it started for me too.
$3,000 a month, to where we are now, where you
That is awesome. That is awesome. Revenue $1 million from January 1st to September. That's in 9 months so far. He's made 1.3 million. That's a lot of money.
YouTube is paying some
RPM is only $10. Wow. Playback CPM only $18. It's because he's doing all those news videos now. So news videos don't get paid that much money, but they do get a lot more views. More views means more people. More people means more traffic to the courses. So everything plays out, okay? So CPMs are important. They're pretty cool, but if you're getting more views, it's not that bad either.
somewhere around $200,000 a month. Affiliates and my courses and my educational programs, which people love, and then they'll go buy another one. All of those together can sometimes add up to another $300,000-$400,000 per month.
Yeah. And his courses are like $750 or like $500 per course, so it adds up. And by the way, they're not like cheap courses. They have like a lot of like too much details in them. Okay, he puts a lot of work into his courses, and he keeps adding more and more stuff to them. So awesome. And he does like live streams every single day. So that's also, I'm like advertising, but it's good. It's good.
Which is absolutely mind-boggling, because it doesn't feel like we're different people, but the number has changed.
Yeah.
I mean, there were 2 months this year during the pandemic where we crossed 7 figures in a month. That was my dream.
That's awesome.
My dream was that the construction business and the real estate sales business together would get me to $1 million a year. And
Wow. You know, you never know how things are gonna go. You know, my old dream initially was, you know what I wish I had? I wish I had my like accounting business, and like that would help me get like around to $20,000-$30,000, and then I had something else on the side. You know, but you never know where you're gonna land. You know, that's why it's so important to just try things out and taste things.
that business failed and led to what we're doing now. So I could thank that failure for being where I am now, to where we had 2 months this
It's all about failing, man. Failing is the only way to figure out exactly what works. That's what Gary Vee said to me when I met him.
year, crossing 7 figures in 1 month.
It's amazing.
We have 2 children. We have Jack, he's 5, and we have Max, who's 2.5. I think the idea
Okay, so 28 minus 5. So he had his first kid when he was like 22 years old. What? 23 years old. I just had like a whole blur. Oh my gosh.
of having children is always something we've been very fond
At my age. Wow.
of. I keep telling Lauren we're having 6 kids.
We do want to have like an army of kids.
We do want
Yeah.
that. But I think the idea of children is more fun than the actual reality
I wouldn't
sometimes.
say that.
She said, I wouldn't say that, Kevin. Don't say that, Kevin. But yeah, I want like 4 kids. I think 4 kids is pretty good. 4 to 5. You know, just in case.
But I mean, it's true, because when you have the idea of having kids, you don't think about all of the things that go with it.
I actually got frustrated hearing people's criticism and comments before I had a kid, or even when I was pregnant with my first kid. Like, oh, it's going to be way harder than you think. And
Yeah, everyone's always complaining about like having kids and all this stuff. Like you know, like a kid is a kid. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, yeah, I read up on it, so I know it's not going to be that hard. Like, what do you take me for? And oh my gosh, like I can't express enough to any potential parent that you just can't even prep for it. There's no way you can actually.
I do recommend you prep for it though. Prep for it. Being a good parent. It's a skill, so you got to learn things about it.
Prep for it. Being so tired that you feel like you're going to like fall asleep while you're breastfeeding your baby, and then you know
that's hard stuff, man.
The constant attention, it's just unbelievable. Now, would I change it? Of course not. I love it so much. Once we incorporated kids, we definitely spend more money on them than we even do ourselves. I'm not one to spend a bunch of money on clothes or accessories for myself, but if my kid wants something that I think is educational and it costs, you know, $150, like, yes, I want that for you.
Yeah, you know something? It's a very good balance with kids and money and buying them things. You know, I think Warren Buffett, his kids didn't find out who he was until like they were like 15 or 16 or something like that. It takes a long time. You don't want to spoil kids. Same thing with Sam Walton, the owner of Walmart, the creator of Walmart, the founder of Walmart. It's a very good balance. You don't want to spoil kids. And kids who know adversity, they don't usually grow up to be good people sometimes, okay? So adversity, a little adversity in there, like natural adversity is pretty good too.
It's the best for you.
I don't always follow all the rules that I'm supposed to, and sometimes that's not so good. There were a couple instances that came up, one particularly where there was a real estate syndicator named Grant.
Yo, he had so many problems with Grant Cardone initially, but that's how he got on, you know. My first videos that kind of like took me there were basically like the video with Graham, the video with Kevin also, the video on Dave Ramsey. And a lot of those people, man, if you think about it, even Graham initially was like, it was Dave Ramsey, like videos he did on other people. And also with Kevin, it was basically with Grant Cardone. There's always like a little attachment to your name, to somebody else's name. And then you slowly keep growing. But that doesn't like keep people around, okay? You have to make content to keep those people around and give them value. So it's not just attention, but it's also attention plus retention. Attention plus retention. AR.
Grant Cardone, who said, hey, screw buying single-family houses. Those are small deals. You'll never make money with those. Having a real estate background, I had my own opinions, which substantially differ.
Yes, it's kind of weird, you know, with the whole Grant Cardone thing. Only buy multifamily, only buy multifamily. Don't worry about anything else. There's ways to make money with everything, okay? You just got to know what you're doing.
Deferred.
Be very careful listening to people that have like one fixed opinion and they just negate everything else. That's why I'm always reading to learn about different ways to do things. And that's why sometimes you see me say something, but then I go ahead and say something else, because basically new information should cause you to change.
Because here I was helping people and my own clients and watching them grow their wealth starting with nothing. And that's what we did. So it felt to me like a total slam against what I stood for. And so I decided to do what any normal person would do and just make YouTube videos making fun of the guy and delivering flowers to his office to make.
Yeah, that's what got him sued. The whole flowers. He says flowers to the office, but he dressed up as Santa Claus, kind of like went into the whole building and so on. That's what happened.
Make a point that what he was doing was not what I agreed with.
Kevin was charged with trespassing and disorderly conduct. The charges were dismissed, but he still had to pay money to defend himself. Around $100,000 in legal fees for various matters. Wow. I used to have an Apple Watch. I stopped having it. It takes way too much attention. Be very careful with those things.
From my experiences poking too many bears, I've learned it's really a good idea to have media insurance or insurances for whatever it is that your business is. That helps no.
Yeah, he told me about that. Media insurance is very important. You gotta have that stuff, okay? Media insurance is very, very important.
No matter what you're doing, from general liability to professional insurances.
Grant Cardone did not respond to a request to comment. Of course he did.
Every single year I look at myself and I'm like, oh gosh, last year I was an idiot. This year will be better.
When it comes to the future, we're really excited about growing our family, having more children once the pandemic is over, traveling with our children, letting them experience life in other countries. And
that is awesome, you know, traveling. My fiance loves traveling, man. I cannot stand it. I can't stand traveling. Like maybe like once or twice a year, but I can't stand traveling. Is it just me? Like I can't stand traveling. But maybe just maybe I just haven't gone to the right place or all that. We'll see what happens.
And just trying to live life to its fullest. I do think with Kevin, It's in his nature to always work, and he kind of gets like a high from making money. And so
I think Kevin's, I don't know, like that's his wife, you know, but I think Kevin gets a lot of, it's just work ethic, right? Work ethic and like results. It's like, it's a habit, right? So you have kind of like a, what's the whole thing that Dubik said? A habit is basically, you have the taste for it, like the, you know, like the craving for it, then you have the routine, and then you basically have the reward. You know, you kind of get the taste for like, hey, I want some money. I don't know. But you know, with YouTube, it's not really money. It's more like, I just really have fun doing this stuff. I think same thing for Kevin with the whole news thing. Money is cool, whatever, but I don't think that's it.
So I respect that that's something he will always want to do, and I think he always will do it. But at the same time, I think you and I, we've talked about it. You recognize that we are at a dollar amount now that it makes sense to maybe take a step back a bit.
And in the meantime, I guess
Yeah.
I'll just keep playing Monopoly.
All right, yeah, sounds like Kevin's gonna keep pushing, squeeze everything out of this stuff, but I hope everything turns out for him good, the way it should. But yeah, overall, solid video. I like Kevin a lot. Guys, what do you guys think about this entire thing? And yeah, once you reach a certain point, you kind of have to maybe dial it back a little bit, but it depends, you know, because I don't ever plan on retiring, but I always plan on having time for my wife and my kids and all that fancy stuff. Guys, I'm out of time for this video. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. As always, if you like this video right here, guys, well, like this video. Any comments or questions or ideas, well, guess what? Comment down below, let me know. Also, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified. On top of that, DM me on Instagram, any questions. And on top of that, before I go, make sure you go ahead and watch another video. Also, click my face right here. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and as always,